So let's go ahead and jump in real quick on Epstein with Trump, because this is hilarious shit.
The story that will not go away for President Trump.
It will not go away.
Because
and the Democrats are loving it. The Democrats are loving this, by the way, guys. This is a big L for MAGA in general, for sure. And they're absolutely loving it. I'm looking at Hassan Piker, Kyle Kulinski, Dean Withers. All these fucking losers are salivating at the discombobulation that this Epstein file crap has created.
As Republicans on the Hill are joining in the MAGA chorus, demanding more transparency on the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. This is reaching something of a bipartisan fever pitch right now and creating the most bizarre alliances. MAGA influencers, congressional Republicans, and congressional Democrats essentially
CNN audio is trash. I'm bumping it up for you guys. Don't worry. I don't know why the hell it's so low.
Teaming up against the Trump administration and its handling of a case that went away in 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein.
Audio is going to be perfect from this point forward, ninjas. The last one wasn't my fault. That was the computer needed to be restarted. But once shit actually works the way it's supposed to, man, we're cooking.
Died in jail, sparking a flood of conspiracy theories on the right. Even House Speaker Mike Johnson is now speaking out, calling on the Department of Justice to release whatever files they still have on the sex trafficking investigation. President Trump, after years suggesting he would release files and wanted them released to the American people, now says he just does not get it why people care.
I don't understand it, why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is.
Come on, man. So bad. Optically bad.
I really don't. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, for her part, is not budging, maintaining that after their...
Yeah, she put a lot of the fucking, she put a lot of the fire on that, man.
Review of the files, there is nothing to see. House Democrats, as I mentioned, they're really jumping in now. They tried to force the Justice Department's hand here by putting an amendment in an unrelated bill to release the...
We're giving the Democrats a lot of power, bro. Like they've been roasting us for days now on this bullshit. Shout out to SXM with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, bro.
Welcome, punch!
Every time you guys donate on Kick, we got our boy Mordecai coming up on the screen, which is hilarious.
The Epstein files. That failed, but that's not stopping Democrats from trying to exploit this break, this fissure between President Trump and his party. CNN's Kevin Liptak is joining us now starting us off from the White House this morning. Where is this headed today, Kevin?
Well, it's certainly not dying down, which had been the expectation of people inside the White House when we were talking about this yesterday. Certainly the president's supporters still very upset about all of this. And it's not clear that the president saying that he doesn't understand it, saying that, quote, only very bad people are interested in this is going to...
Oh, my God, bro.
To have the effect that he hopes it has. And a lot of the ire still continues to be directed at the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who, remember, only a few months ago said that she had the Epstein client list on her desk ready to review, but then in that memo last week said that such a list did not exist. Now, we heard from Mike Johnson, who is about the biggest ally of President Trump's in Washington. He was asked about that comment from Pam Bondi. Listen to what Johnson said.
We should put everything out there and let the people decide. Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
So clearly now a lot of pressure mounting on the judge.
Yeah, that was the interview that Mike Johnson did with Benny Johnson, by the way, guys. He did an interview with Benny Johnson, I think yesterday, we're talking about this, because even people like Benny Johnson who are... I'll be honest with y'all, bro. There's a couple of influencers that I would damn near say are part of the administration. Charlie Kirk and Benny Johnson are them, okay? They're basically mouthpieces for the administration. Charlie Kirk, and that's something else that I wanted to tell you guys. I didn't get a chance to talk about this too much, but let me talk about this real fast. So as you guys know, right, we've got to go back in time. Story time, niggas. Right, story time. So as you guys know, right, Charlie Kirk, you got to give credit where it's due. Turning Point USA was the ground game that Trump utilized during his campaign to win. There are a multitude of factors that got Trump to win. Turning Point USA, doing podcasts with people like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, and just doing collabs with streamers and, these influencer type personalities. Obviously the assassination attempt helped them quite a bit, getting that epic picture. All of these different things played into it. But when it came to Trump's ground game and the rallies and utilizing platforms like Turning Point USA and then Charlie Kirk and Scott Presler and these guys getting people out there to vote, right? Getting young people out there to vote. They were critical in getting Trump elected. Now, here's the problem. Since Charlie Kirk was huge in getting Trump elected, as well as helping get some of these guys confirmed. You guys know he was a big supporter of Pete Hegseth. He was a big supporter of Dan Bongino, big supporter of Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, or like all of these people. Okay, Kirk is friends with all of these people that are in high levels of cabinet for the president, right? So what's ended up happening, and if you guys watched my debate that he did out in the UK at Oxford, you guys remember this, and I told you guys this, and I noticed this from months ago, right? That for the next 4 years, Kirk is going to be in a very strange place because since he was a critical component to get Trump elected, right, and basically damn near ran his ground game, he's in a position where he can't really criticize the president like that. Or if he does, it's going to be very small, or he's going to have to make it very quick. Can't go too hard, right? Because to criticize the president almost criticizes himself in Turning Point because they were critical in getting him in, right? Now, he's also in bed with the administration. He knows people personally, etc. I mean, Trump has came and talked to Turning Point multiple times, chat. To get the president to come talk to your event is a big fucking deal, all right? Big deal. He was at AmFest at the end of last year. I don't think he was at this event this year, or he wasn't at this Tampa event. But to get the president to show up at your thing is huge. So now he's in this rock and a hard place where he's got to defend the Trump administration damn near no matter what. So what ends up happening is people beat him up on that. And it puts him in a position where when he's doing debates, he gets put in a position a lot of times where he's got to defend indefensible foreign policy. And he can't really do anything because he has to be pro-administration. So it's put him in a weird spot. Benny Johnson's also in this situation because Benny Johnson's also damn near, a part of the administration, right? Bongino obviously is literally a part of the administration now. He was, but even when he was a podcaster, he was super pro-Trump. So all these guys are kind of put in this weird spot where every time the administration blunders, they have to kind of come out and kind of cover for him to a degree. The only person I've seen like not cover like that is Steve Bannon. Like Steve Bannon has been critical with bombing Iran. He was critical with the Epstein files. Tucker as well, but I wouldn't consider these guys as part of the administration as much. Bannon, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised, but he's a super Trump loyalist. He went to jail for Trump, so maybe he might get a pass that these other influencers don't. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's put Charlie in a weird spot. Then on top of that, right, he's got a bunch of dudes asking him questions about Israel at the student event, Student Action Summit, right? And I think a couple of them got arrested. So not only does he have to be there to defend like bad foreign policy by Trump or bad policy, but he's also got to deal with, all the criticisms of Israel. It's funny because when you walk into the SAS thing, right, there was like an area, anyone that was there, you guys know what I'm talking about. They had this big ass fucking section to get Israeli flags. It's fucking, you can't make this shit up, man. So it's put him in a weird spot, as well as Benny Johnson. So we'll see how they move. But this Epstein file thing has definitely created a lot of problems. It's created a lot of problems.
Justice Department to put out more information on this. And in fact, you did hear from President Trump yesterday, even as he tried to dismiss all of this, say that he thinks that Bondi should put out more information if it is what he calls credible. But at the same time, he sort of diminished the possibility that such a credible list might exist, saying that it was created by his political rivals. We've also heard Democrats call for hearings on Capitol Hill, people who are associated with Epstein in the Justice Department. We also heard from Tim Burchett, the Tennessee Republican, saying that he wants to hear from the Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, saying that she should come and testify on Capitol Hill. She's, of course, serving 20 years in prison in Tallahassee.
Yeah. Stay tuned, guys. I might have something big for that. Also, guys,
Not exactly clear how that would work, but in that interview, Mike Johnson said that he was open to that, saying that he's, quote, all for transparency.
The calls are growing from within President Trump's party to release more information about the case around Jeffrey Epstein. So as the base continues to revolt over Epstein into the second week, some of the president's House allies basically want to see more transparency. Earlier this
oh yeah, and there's a discount code for you guys in the Telegram chat. I'm going to probably give you guys
year, Pam Bondi, Attorney General, told Fox News a list of Epstein clients was, quote, sitting on her desk for review. You can see an image there of Mike Johnson, who's also moved on this issue. Sources are now telling CNN that
this was such an L. DC Drano here, libs of TikTok. I don't know who this is. This is Scott Presler, who's a fucking, I don't know what that creature is. But yeah, if you guys were wondering, yep, they're them boys.
she was actually referring to files which were later given to right-wing influencers at the White House in big folders labeled.
And I found out on Timcast yesterday that they got bombarded. Like, they didn't even know they were going to get these files. These files made them look like idiots, man.
The Epstein files, phase 1. President Trump still seems confused why so many in his party are preoccupied with this.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going.
Group chat is back. CNN has done some polling on the issue and found that 3% of Americans are satisfied with the amount of information released on this case. That dissatisfaction along party lines isn't even that far off. As always, I care about the independence number, which is now at 52%. 56% are like, hey, we need more information. I don't know who wants to jump in here. Is there a clean way out?
For women, you already know. This is why CNN is failing, bro. Oh, man.
I think politically for Democrats right now, they are doing the right thing in terms of fanning the flames, because this is something that is going to be very detrimental to Trump and Republicans if they don't quell their base.
It's true. She's actually right on this one. Rare W for a woman, but you know, a broken clock can still be right twice a day. But yeah, long story short, yeah, bro, 100%. This is going to be this is a big deal to the base. And here's the thing. It's not so much that it's Epstein, it's that the administration promised fucking transparency. And the other thing too is that people got to remember, yo, Bongino and fucking Patel are influencers at the end of the day. And what were they doing all last year? Oh, the Democrats are hiding it. They're corrupt. We're going to go ahead and expose everything once we get in. Niggas are in. And then what? Make no mistake about it, guys. Bongino is a podcaster. Kash Patel is a book author. He wrote a book called Government Gangsters. These guys basically made money doing this shit for a long ass time. Now they're in power. So the base is not going to accept them not doing shit that they're supposed to do.
That's the point. The fanning of the flames for Democrats needs to show MAGA base, the podcasters who were so supportive of Trump are the ones who are now saying, we need more information. He's not doing what we thought he was going to do. We did not vote for this. If Democrats continue to underscore that, as opposed to just chiming in ourselves about how this needs to be something because it's important for the American people, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need to be doing, is underscoring how this could be the one thing, Adi. We have always asked, what is the one thing, if it exists, that would make the MAGA base turn on Trump? It certainly wasn't him shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue.
Exactly.
This could be it.
And I should show a Truth Social post from the president basically saying, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey? I mean, it's the rogues gallery. It's all the things. All the things. Just put them in there. And the response in general, not been great. Can I give
Not good at all. He's getting ratioed on his own thing of Truth Social, bro.
the last few seconds
Yeah,
to
that's
you?
right. Not been This goes to Donald Trump's core, right? This idea that he was an outsider, he was going to come in.
See, this pisses me off because we're giving these fucking over at CNN and all these left-wing political commentators and progressives, we're giving them so much ammunition, man. This is the biggest W the Democrats have had in a very long time, by the way, chat. This is a big W for them. They're going to use this Epstein shit and just cook us because literally there's clips of Patel and, you know, no, matter of fact, I'll show y'all real quick.
and crackheads.
And in
turn the
QAnon
place-
lore, he's the savior.
He is the savior to do this. And now for him to say, oh, there's nothing to see here, why are people up in arms? It goes directly against his identity and the identity of people he picked for these offices. Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. So
Dan
they've got a
Bongino
real,
especially.
Don Bongino,
Yeah.
exactly.
Joining me now is Holly Baltz, an investigations editor with the Palm Beach Post. Holly, good morning to you, and it's so great to have you. You and some of your colleagues have covered Jeffrey Epstein extensively, going back years and years. Having said that, I'd like to first get your reaction to President Trump now claiming that the Epstein files were made up by Democrats like Barack Obama and Joe Biden. He's also blaming former FBI Director James Comey. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that's a very interesting statement because his administration under the Justice Department arrested and charged Jeffrey Epstein in 2019. Jeffrey Epstein never goes away. He's a subject of constant attention and fascination. I can tell you, we've been covering him since he was originally arrested here in 2006. And, he will always be around, it seems. So yeah.
Yeah, and, Pam Bondi is trying to stand her ground for now. She says that the DOJ's controversial memo, the very memo that so infuriated so many in the MAGA world, quote, speaks for itself. How tenable is this position that Bondi is in right now, Holly, both when it comes to standing behind that DOJ memo, but also just in terms of keeping her job?
She ain't getting fired, bro. She ain't getting fired.
Well, it's hard to speak.
She ain't going nowhere, chat.
To her.
I know a lot of people are screaming and saying we need to fire Bondi. She ain't going nowhere, though.
For keeping her
Bongino came to work. He's in good, he's not going anywhere either.
job.
And neither is Kash Patel. Bro, Trump needs to just stop with the whole hoax bullshit. I talked about this yesterday, but I'll talk about it again. Then we're going to get into that Syrian war because we really do want to get into that. Guys, it's simple. There's a classified component to the whole Epstein files. They need to declassify that and put it out to the people. Tulsi Gabbard's going to have all of it. She's a DNI. She's going to have access to it. The FBI is only going to have a margin, have a fraction of the entire pie when it comes to Epstein because the FBI did their criminal case and they also did the domestic side of the intelligence. But keep in mind that we know that Epstein was a foreign asset for a foreign intelligence service. That's going to encompass CIA 100%. We need all the fucking classified files to come out. That's what we really need because that's going to expose everything. If you only get what the FBI has on the criminal case, that's not going to give you guys everything that you're looking for. The American public wants everything. And what they mean by everything means you're going to have to declassify and give everything from the intel community. So that means all of those fucking 30 plus intel agencies, that means all you got to fucking hand over everything you have related to Jeffrey Epstein. That's how it's got to go. The problem is that people are putting way too much attention on Bondi and the FBI. Yes, they're going to have a portion of it, but the intel community is going to have the majority of what you guys are looking for, which is going to be the info on who he worked with, why he did what he did, how much he was getting paid, how he was going about collecting information, why he was collecting information, on who he was collecting information. All that shit is going to be in the IC stuff, not in the FBI file, okay? Or if it is an FBI file, it's got to be declassified regardless. So what they're trying to tell you guys are like, oh, we gave you guys everything, or there's nothing there. Yeah, that's from the criminal side. But there's absolutely going to be a high side file that you motherfuckers don't want to give us. We're not stupid, okay? And the government is purposely bureaucratic like this and nebulous so that you don't know where to go to get the information that you're trying to get. Does that make sense, chat? It's very difficult to navigate in the federal government because there's so many different agencies that overlap and have different jurisdictions, but they have the same jurisdictions on some stuff. So the only way to ensure that we have everything is we need everything from the IC. Everything. Okay? So we need the criminal stuff from the FBI, and then we also need the intel component from the FBI, and we also need everything from the entire intelligence community, whether it's the CIA, NSA, DIA, National Geospatial, whatever the fuck, the NGA, whatever those losers are. They're dorks anyway. I only met like one of them ever in my career. OSI, everybody has got to turn their shit over. Everybody. Okay? So, but they're never going to do that, chat. They're never going to do that. Also, smash that like button. All right, guys? All right. Let me read some chats, and we're going to get into the Syrian war.